disc-shaped UFO appeared above Miami Beach, shocking thousands of people who were enjoying the sun and sand. The object hovered so low that witnesses screamed in disbelief, pointing and filming as it silently glided across the sky. Every eye on the beach was locked on this mysterious craft as it zipped past at an incredible speed, leaving chaos and awe in its wake. The video quickly went viral, dominating social media and sparking endless debate. But surprisingly, authorities have remained silent. Stay tuned as we reveal more jaw-dropping UFO sightings that left entire communities stunned and questioning what's really out there.
¡A la madre, güey! ¡No mames, güey!
Pine Mountain, located in western Georgia, is usually a quiet destination for hikers and outdoor lovers. According to the hiker, he was unsure at first whether he should even share what he saw. "I didn't plan on releasing these photos," he said. "I showed them to a few co-workers first. That's when they told me about the reports coming out of Miami. I had no idea about those sightings at the time. When they pointed out that my experience happened only a few days later, it made me stop and think." Learning about what had reportedly happened in Miami made him rethink what he had seen on the mountain. On the day of the sighting, the temperature was around 14 degrees, and the sky was cloudy. Despite the overcast conditions, the weather stayed steady. As someone who regularly visits the area and has been getting more interested in photography, he immediately noticed how tall the figures appeared. Based on his view, he estimated their height to be over 7 feet, with very slim bodies. That stood out to him because he was familiar with what normal hikers usually look like in that location. Because of that, he pulled out his camera and began taking photos. The figures were far away, which made it hard to capture sharp images. Even so, their height and body shape were still visible. After about a minute, they moved behind part of the hillside and disappeared from view. That moment left him confused, especially since he couldn't understand where they went or why they left so suddenly. After hearing more details about the Miami sightings, he decided to release the photos publicly. He admitted that the figures could have been people wearing costumes, but he questioned why that would happen on a mountain with no events taking place. Another possibility he considered was filming, but he noted that no other people or equipment were visible nearby. The situation remains unexplained, and he says he is still unsure what the images truly show. In many cases like this, finding a clear explanation is difficult. Over time, stories like these often fade away without answers. Even so, hikers in the area continue to share accounts of unusual encounters near the mountains. Some believe these stories point to the possibility of unknown groups living close to these regions. Others suggest that hikers who are dehydrated, exhausted, or stressed may experience visual distortions or fear-based reactions. Several people have claimed they saw large creatures moving nearby during such moments. Because of these repeated claims, some individuals believe that isolated humanoid beings could be living deep within mountain areas. This idea has slowly turned into a common belief among certain hiking communities. Reports of humanoid sightings are not limited to the United States. Similar stories have come from other countries as well. In places like Mexico, people have described encounters with large, hairy, humanoid figures near mountainous terrain. Each year, more individuals claim to have seen something they cannot explain.
Insect or something.
Is that an insect? Let's have a look. What is it?
I don't know. I don't know. Oh my god!
Ugh.
These reports suggest that such sightings may not be tied to one specific location. Instead, they may be part of a wider pattern that appears in different parts of the world. This has led some to push for further study into what these figures might be, or whether they exist at all. Because of how often mountains appear in these reports, some researchers believe remote mountain regions could provide shelter for large, unknown creatures. These areas remain mostly untouched by humans, making them ideal places for something to stay hidden. Interest in these ideas has grown, especially as people look toward unexplored parts of the world. Historical accounts even mention large beings seen near mountain peaks in earlier times. Researchers state that modern humans, known as Homo sapiens, are believed to have appeared around 200,000 years ago. However, only about 5,000 years of that history has been clearly recorded. That means roughly 97% of human history remains unknown. During that long stretch of time, many societies may have existed and disappeared without leaving clear evidence behind. Because of this lack of records, we have limited knowledge of how those groups lived or what role they played in shaping the world. Much of our past remains unclear. Over thousands of years, cultures and their achievements vanished, leaving behind only small traces. Large portions of human history are still missing. Some researchers believe ancient groups left behind symbols, carvings, and markings that could help explain how they lived. At the same time, certain discoveries in archaeology do not fit neatly into current historical timelines, raising new questions about what we may still be missing. One discovery that has drawn a lot of attention is a strange drawing found inside a cave in Japan. As researchers studied it more closely, it became clear that ancient societies used symbols and images to communicate ideas, beliefs, and shared experiences. These drawings offer clues about how they lived, what they believed, and how they understood the world around them. The images act like a record of daily life, traditions, and possible forms of communication. The British Exploring Society was one of the first groups to share this discovery online, posting images on social media and inviting people to share their thoughts. Soon after, the drawing began circulating across many platforms, where viewers pointed out how closely it resembled a modern aircraft. Similar images have also been found in other parts of the world, including ancient sites in Egypt. The fact that unrelated cultures created similar images has raised many questions. One major issue for researchers is that these drawings are often found alone, without written records or nearby artifacts. This makes it difficult to confirm when they were created or what the artist intended to show. Even so, some groups believe these images show early representations of flying machines. They argue that the shapes do not match anything commonly known from those periods, since aircraft were not thought to exist at the time. Supporters of this idea point out that descriptions of strange objects in the sky appear in ancient records from Egypt, India, and the Mayan civilization. In ancient Indian texts, these objects were known as vimanas. Many old carvings and paintings appear to show similar shapes, which some believe supports the idea that these stories were based on real observations rather than pure imagination. Japan also has a long history of unusual stories, including one known as the Utsuro-Bune incident. This event is said to have taken place in 1803, when a young woman arrived on the Japanese coast inside an unusual round vessel that appeared advanced for its time. Local fishermen who found her were confused and curious. She could not speak Japanese, and no one could understand where she came from. Unsure of what to do, the fishermen eventually placed her back into the vessel and sent her out to sea. Local accounts describe the woman as looking different from the surrounding population. Some versions of the story also mention that she was holding a strange box and refused to let anyone touch it. Over time, people began to suggest she may have come from a distant land, unknown to Japan at the time. Although historical records are limited, the Utsuro-Bune story remains part of Japanese folklore. It allows for many explanations about who the woman was, where she came from, and what kind of vessel she arrived in. The legend is supported by 3 historical documents from the early 1800s. While the details differ, each account describes a similar event. The records also mention that officials examined the vessel, though their conclusions were not consistent. One modern investigation was conducted by Dr. Kazuo Tanaka from Gifu University of Tokyo. His research notes that the reports do not explain how the vessel moved, but they do mention that it stayed still on the water. This detail has added another layer of mystery to the story. Another unusual find was made in India by Dr. Bhagat and his research team while exploring an ancient cave system. They discovered a cave painting that looks similar to a being not typically associated with early human art. The team estimated that the painting could be more than 10,000 years old. Dr. Bhagat expressed interest in having both NASA and the Indian Space Research Organization review the finding. Some theorists believe this supports the idea that advanced societies may have existed long before recorded history. Supporters of this view often point to a stone figure found among Mayan ruins in Guatemala. The figure appears to show a person wearing what looks like a modern astronaut suit carved in stone. This carving has sparked debate for years. Some believe it suggests that ancient cultures viewed their gods as visitors from the sky, possibly from other worlds. Others argue it reflects symbolic storytelling rather than actual events. It is widely accepted that many ancient civilizations had strong knowledge of astronomy. Some researchers believe this understanding may have influenced their art and stories about the sky and distant worlds. The Indian cave paintings add more detail to this discussion. Found near central India, these artworks show a mix of human figures, animals, and creatures that do not live in the region today, such as kangaroos, giraffes, and fish-like beings. One image stood out to researchers because it looked different from the rest. Dr. Bhagat suggested that it raises the possibility that early humans either imagined beings from other planets or described something they believed they had seen. This idea gains attention due to other paintings in the same area that appear to show figures wearing what resemble spacesuits. Together, these findings continue to fuel discussion and curiosity. While clear answers remain out of reach, these ancient images keep drawing interest from researchers and the public, as people continue to search for meaning behind them. Although cave paintings have been found before, none have shown this level of detail until now. This same area also contains drawings that appear to show flying objects, strange devices, and scenes that some people interpret as abductions. Because of this, independent researchers have questioned why established scientists have not looked deeper into these findings. They believe leaving these images out of history books limits what we know about the past. According to them, these discoveries could help explain parts of human history that are still unclear. Mainstream researchers, however, reject these claims. They argue that the drawings are symbolic or artistic and hold no real historical value. Recently, a man shared a photo on Reddit claiming he had found a metal obelisk deep in the woods. The image quickly gained tens of thousands of likes and spread across social media. People began offering their own explanations about what it could be and how it ended up there. Many users pointed out that it might be connected to the monolith trend that appeared a few years earlier. Starting in late 2020, strange metal monoliths began appearing in isolated locations around the world. At a time when information spreads instantly, these structures caught global attention almost overnight. Their sudden appearance sparked curiosity and debate across social media and news platforms. These tall metal objects were found in very different environments, including deserts, forests, and open fields. From Utah to Romania, they appeared without warning and without explanation. Their presence raised questions about whether they were art pieces, social experiments, or something else entirely. Experts and observers were confused by how these objects appeared in such hard-to-reach places. With smooth metal surfaces and simple shapes, the monoliths drew attention despite their lack of obvious markings or messages. The first major discovery happened in November 2020. A helicopter crew conducting a wildlife survey in southeastern Utah spotted a tall metal structure standing alone in the desert. The monolith was about 10 feet high and reflected sunlight off its surface. There were no signs explaining who built it or why it was there. Many people compared it to objects seen in science fiction films, especially 2001, A Space Odyssey. News of the Utah monolith spread quickly. People around the world became curious about where it came from and what purpose it served. Some speculated about non-human involvement, while others believed it had a more ordinary explanation. As photos and videos circulated online, interest grew even stronger. The lack of clear answers only added to the discussion. Some believed it was an art installation, while others suspected it was placed there as a stunt. After the Utah discovery, similar structures began appearing in other remote locations. One was found in Neamț County, Romania, which reignited public interest. Soon after, reports came in from places like California, the Netherlands, Colombia, and the Isle of Wight. Each structure shared similar features, including metallic surfaces and simple geometric shapes. Wherever they appeared, they attracted attention and discussion. People debated their purpose and tried to track patterns behind their placement. As sightings increased, theories multiplied. Some believed a group of artists was responsible and enjoyed creating confusion. Others thought the monoliths were part of a large-scale prank or a coordinated art project meant to spark global discussion. A few people suggested darker explanations, including secret government projects or attempts to send messages beyond Earth. These ideas gained traction mainly because no official explanation was offered. Just as quickly as the monoliths appeared, they began to vanish. The Utah monolith, which had started the trend, disappeared only weeks after it was discovered. In some cases, local authorities removed the structures. In other cases, no one could say who took them or why. Even after their disappearance, debate continued. Some were convinced the monoliths were part of a marketing campaign or a planned global art display. Others believed they were placed by individuals seeking attention. Regardless of who created them or why they were removed, the monoliths left a strong impression. Their appearance invited people to question intention, meaning, and how easily mystery can spread in the modern world. These massive structures, often called monoliths, have become symbols of humanity's interest in discovery, curiosity, and the wish to leave something behind. Even today, no one knows who created them or why, which has left many people surprised and confused. Despite major progress in science and technology, no individual, group, or nation has claimed responsibility for them. What makes this even stranger is that similar monolith-like objects have been reported across different parts of the solar system. Space has always raised big questions for humanity, and among those questions is the appearance of these unexplained structures on multiple celestial bodies. Scientists and space fans alike continue to debate what they might be and how they got there. During the 1980s, as space exploration expanded, attention turned toward Mars and its two small moons, Phobos and Deimos. Phobos drew special attention in 1989 when the Soviet probe Phobos 2 sent back unusual images. These photos appeared to show a large rectangular object on the moon's surface. The images quickly led to widespread discussion about whether the object was natural or artificial. Earth's moon has also raised similar questions. In 1998, NASA's Lunar Prospector mission detected a strange magnetic irregularity near the moon's equator. This finding suggested the presence of magnetized material beneath the surface, or possibly a large buried object with magnetic properties. The discovery renewed interest in studying the Moon and trying to understand where these magnetic signals came from. While later missions helped scientists learn more about lunar geology and magnetism, the exact cause of these magnetic readings is still being studied and debated. One theory suggests that advanced civilizations may have placed monoliths throughout the solar system as a way to communicate with other intelligent life. These structures could act as signals, announcing the presence of advanced beings, displaying technical capability, or expressing interest in contact beyond their own world. Under this idea, the main reason for placing monoliths in specific locations would be to reach other thinking species. By leaving behind clear markers, such civilizations might be trying to overcome the isolation between distant worlds and create a way to be noticed. As humanity continues to explore deeper into space, driven by curiosity and the hope of finding other life, monoliths could serve as powerful indicators. They might signal that intelligent beings exist nearby or once existed, and that advanced knowledge is possible. In this way, such structures could even be used by advanced non-human civilizations to begin contact with younger species like humans. Beyond communication, monoliths may also serve practical purposes for space travel. They could act as reference points for navigation, marking safe routes, important locations, or areas worth studying. In this role, they would function like space landmarks, helping explorers move through unfamiliar regions of the solar system. Looking ahead, it is possible to imagine a future where humans travel far beyond Earth and encounter traces of ancient spacefaring societies. Scattered remains of these civilizations could guide explorers and point toward discoveries that challenge what we currently understand about the universe. Another possibility is that monoliths act as storage units for information. They may contain records of knowledge, culture, art, or history left behind by advanced societies. In this sense, they would serve as preserved archives, meant to survive long after their creators are gone. By placing these structures in many locations across the solar system, advanced civilizations could protect their cultural record from disasters or the passage of time. Future explorers or researchers might one day discover these sites and gain insight into the values, skills, and achievements of those who built them. This approach would increase the chances that such knowledge survives and is eventually found. There is also the idea that monoliths could be used as scientific tools. They may contain advanced systems designed to study space itself, observe cosmic events, or test physical laws on a scale far beyond current human technology. If this is the case, then these structures were carefully built to perform complex tasks related to space research and observation. This possibility raises important questions about how such structures were designed, what technologies they use, and what level of knowledge their creators possessed. By placing these massive structures throughout the solar system, advanced civilizations could gather crucial information from diverse cosmic environments, enhancing their understanding of the universe's complexities. In effect, these structures act like floating laboratories, giving civilizations the opportunity to conduct experiments that reach beyond the limits of time and space. Across the solar system, it is possible that these civilizations positioned monoliths for another reason, as grand expressions of cosmic art. These structures reflect the creativity and aesthetic sensibilities of their creators, showing that intelligence and imagination can extend far beyond Earth. As we continue exploring space and searching for life beyond Earth, the notion of monoliths reminds us that the universe is vast, full of mysteries, and filled with potential for wonder. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more videos. Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever seen something strange in the sky? Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video.